Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the Vanguard.
Yeah, so I have in Akure, Ondo State, it says suspected thugs were hired by a parent of a student of Complete Child Development College and reportedly beat up the vice president of the school for preventing his son from cheating in the ongoing WASC exam. So this story reads that May 26th, an Android phone was found with one SS3 student, which is contrary to the rules and regulation of the school. And Mr. Rotifa, the vice principal of the school, seized the phone from him. Then on Thursday, the mother of the student came to the school to fight with the school management.
Wow.
To the point that the proprietor of the school ordered that the phone be returned to her, and that was done. That she made so much trouble, they returned the phone to her. The brother of the student, who happened to be an old student of the school, came to the school to harass the vice principal and threatened to deal with him. After school hours, the boys were seen loitering in the streets, and the proprietor was informed, who told Mr. Rotifa to go to the police station and lodge a complaint. So Mr. Rotifa is a teacher that seized the phone. He went, and 2 policemen took him in their van to look for the boys, probably to arrest them. They didn't get them. On their way back to the station, the boys waylaid the police van, stopped it, brought out Mr. Rotifa, and beat him up. And, well, he's been taken to the hospital for treatment. According to the principal of the school, he's been discharged from hospital, but he didn't go back to the house for the fear of those boys coming back, And they said arrangements are being made for his safety, for the safety of staff and students of the school during the remaining period of the exam.
Because somebody is not allowed to
cheat. The school has kept quiet since then. The school is obviously under siege by thugs and bandits, so and I don't know what's called.
The story got to me. The fact that they waylaid a police van, brought out Mr. Rotifa, beat him up
in front of the police.
So what happened to the police officers?
They are dodging for their own life. They want to be collateral damage before they mistakenly hit your head in the base of.
And now
that's what I'm saying. The community is under siege.
Obviously,
there's a power more powerful than the constitution.
And there are many communities that are like that. There are many communities like that, and I believe that this is really sad on all fronts. And our heart goes to be, we're praying for the teacher that he has swift recovery. Compensation needs to be made to that teacher, obviously, and the parents and the thugs need to be prosecuted properly.
Okay, I have the one that says federal government's gas-powered vehicle scheme runs into major hitch nationwide, and this one is talking about the 785.6 billion investment that is being threatened, refuel stations, conversion centers, and we're now talking about that there are indications that the federal government, that there are indications that the federal government's scheme designed to transition Nigerians' vehicle transport system industry away from fossil fuel, that's petrol to gas, has encountered a major hitch. And industry stakeholders said that initially the enthusiasm has been taken over by frustration due to supply shortages and insufficient infrastructure. They also said the inadequate refuel facilities and the gas itself across the country have become the users' and investors' nightmare in recent times. The scarcity of the products incoming against the backdrop of adequate supply of petrol across all parts of Nigeria is a situation which has now started luring the gas users back to reconverting their vehicles to petrol from gas. And the Office of the Presidential CNG Initiative as well, also a major stakeholder from the Office of the Presidential CNG Initiative, also said, while acknowledging that the existence of these challenges, that there are existence of these challenges, he said that the program has not derailed, adding that efforts are underway to restore the progress. I will recall that on May 13th, 2024, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed all federal ministry departments and agencies to purchase the CNG vehicles and other steps for its widespread. But in all of this, some of the users, some of the CNG users are also alleging that there's been a sabotage somewhere. A truck driver was actually interviewed, and he said, I believe there are some people in the downstream segment as operators and possibly regulators agencies that are benefiting from petrol importation, and they know that if people convert to CNG and they can buy it easily, they will abandon petrol. If they abandon petrol, then they cannot be making money again. So there are a lot of things said because it's a whole news, it's a whole spread. And as a result of the long queues, many of them cannot even afford to stay 4, 5, 6 hours to buy CNG, and they don't have time. So
because she runs on CNG, it's cheaper, CNG. But the queue to get the fuel.
When I was coming to this morning, really I noticed that the particular mobile station selling CNG had a lot of queue.
We don't have enough.
They want to frustrate this thing now.
I want to take
that's what that's saying.
But they will always fight any good policy. No, the what is happening in Makurdi.
Okay.
The fact that let me even specifically, I want to read it properly, because in a month of consistent attack on Catholic churches by armed headsmen, and this was the news was brought out by the Nigerian Catholic Diocese Priest Association, Makurdi Diocese, said that no fewer than 50 persons have been killed, and that this has led to the church shutting down 15 Catholic parishes because of the crisis. They have lamented the failure of military personnel to protect victims. They've resorted to ask the youth to defend their lives, their land, and their faith. They said they called out the governor of Benue, Governor Hyacinth Alia, to be decisive in the action against these headsmen, that even calling out the president to say, please help the governor, because the governor has already said that these men are foreign agents. They are not Nigerians. They are non-Nigerians who have come in. And that he said this is obvious. There's consistency of how they've killed two-year-old, they killed many people, including a 2-year-old child, a pregnant woman, gruesomely murdered, some within the church facility, attacks on priests also being carried out. And our heart goes out to the entire community, or entire community that is under siege within Makurdi. And we would really, really like to hear more from the governor of Benue State on how he's addressing the challenges, as well as the military. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune. Manufacturers lament mounting challenges. Says 767 manufacturing companies have shut down in between 2023 till date. Over 18,000 jobs have been lost in 2024, and cost of imported raw materials surged by 118%. It says spending on alternative energy have hit 1 trillion naira just in 2024. In other news, federal government mandates employees compensation scheme for public workers. NSTIF joins federal head of civil service to sensitize civil servants. Kano accident, fatigue, excessive speeding cost the death of 21 athletes. That's from FRSC. Very, very sad story. NDLEA bust syndicates sponsoring pilgrims with cocaine to Hajj. Fact allocation to states up by 62% in 2 years. How over 60 airlines folded up in 3 decades, based on investigation. And Nigeria loses $8.8 billion in annual revenue to informal sector. That's from the Africa Development Bank. So what are we starting with?
NDLEA has uncovered and dismantled the syndicate that sponsors Hajj pilgrims, who also serve as couriers to move cocaine to Saudi Arabia during pilgrimage. They said that they had arrested kingpins Abubakar Mohammed, Abdul Hakim Mohammed Tijani, and Mohammed Aji Shugaba. They were arrested 27th and 28th in Kano. This was after a follow-up arrest of 2 pilgrims, Ibrahim Umar Mustafa and Mohammed Sirajo Shifatu, at the international airport in Kano on the 26th. They were on their way out on the Ethiopian airline to Jeddah when this happened. They said NDLEA had received intelligence, and so that's how they were able to intercept these particular people. And then they took them through the scanning process, and it confirmed that they had ingested illicit substances, subsequently placed on excretion observation, and during that they excreted 45 wraps of cocaine each. They also, because of that, were able to find their sponsors, who are leaders of a notorious drug trafficking network. Their specialization is just trafficking illicit drugs to Saudi Arabia. And this is, one of the many other things that NDLEA has done in the few days leading up to the end of the month of May, because there's also a 60-year-old businessman, Chinedu Leonard Okigbo, who was on his way to Iran. After a body scan, it was confirmed that he ingested illicit substances as well, and was asked to, and he excreted 65 wraps of cocaine, at the Port Harcourt complex We have NDLEA and men of
kill them,
custom
actually. They have gotten better.
It doesn't.
It doesn't kill them as much as it used to kill them before. So they've gotten better with how to wrap it.
Anyway, over 825,000 bottles of codeine-based syrup and Trodol worth over 5 billion and so many other opioids as well. Found in containers that they had been watching, you know, based on intelligence. So when they get good intelligence, when we speak up and point out, they're able to do their work better.
Exactly. This actually works for NDLEA. We are out of time. I really wanted to take the story of the FRSC. Who has the story of the fatigue killing 21? So 21 athletes actually died in a car accident from their game in Ogun sports festival, and the FRSC is saying that it was based on excessive speeding and fatigue on the part of the drivers. But we lost young athletes.
Hey God.
We lost young athletes. This is 100% avoidable death that FRC always talks about this thing. Avoid speeding. There is a speed limit for a purpose. Don't go above it. And if you're tired, take a break. There are many hotels around the road. The governor of the state declared today as a public holiday. You know, to commemorate them. The governor, Abiodun, also has pledged, I think, $1 million naira to the families, you know, but still, it doesn't replace the life.
From the
Kano State governor as well. Okay, yeah, so, well, that's all we can take. Our heart goes out to the entire family. This one, I don't even know what justice would mean, because everybody perished, you know, so it is well. Let's just prevent this going forward. If you are in a car and there's overspeeding, shout, because you don't want to be the next collateral damage.
Then I think in the cases of traveling long distance, they should have 2 or more drivers
to help with fatigue.
You cannot accommodate because one driver can take it now. Don't be too.
It's a huge risk.
Stingy.
Next, we have a special feature from the Elevation Church. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.